Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Taylor Andre. Waking up with Taylor Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. I am really excited today, but I'm really nervous. And one of the reasons why I'm nervous is because we are talking about something I know absolutely nothing about. So I don't even know what questions to ask. I don't even know where to begin, but we are going to start super green. And so we are speaking with Annie, and I want to introduce you guys to Annie because I found her on TikTok. You guys know I be going down TikTok rabbit holes and trying to figure out life on TikTok. And she was talking about NFTs and crypto and how Meta 3D, like it's a whole lifestyle that I don't even know where to begin. But the way she was explaining it to me, like, really made me feel like I could understand it at one point in time, which is not right now. And so she is not an expert. Let us be very clear. She is not an expert, but she does know more than we do. And so as we build these blocks to our financial literacy, encompassing all things financial literacy, when it comes to NFTs, when it comes to the metaverse, this is the internet before the internet. And so we are on the ground level, and I want us to get in before critical mass hits and there's no more money to be made. Now, if somebody said, "Oh, let's invest in the internet," you'd look at them like you're too little too late. Maybe you should have invested back in the AOL days. Well, right now is the AOL days for the metaverse and for NFTs and for buying real estate in the metaverse. And so, though, again, I am not an expert, I don't even know what questions to begin asking. Annie does have baseline knowledge, and with her baseline knowledge, we are then going to build our foundational blocks of financial literacy. And so, Annie, please tell us, where are you in the world, and why is it dark where you are now?
Yes, I am in Australia at the moment and it's 5 a.m. I'm very blessed to live in the forest, so it's darker than usual in the mornings. And if you can hear cicadas in the background, can't do anything about it at 5 a.m.
No worries. And so you said you're not an expert, but you do have a better understanding of me. What got you into NFTs? What got you into the metaverse or the 5D, 3D, 2D that we are seeing everyone gravitating towards?
Yeah, and I don't know if you will actually know this answer, but it's quite fitting for this particular radio because I was actually called to do it spiritually. Um, I meditate every day, and in December or like late November, I lost my cat, and I was, quite distraught. But at the same time, I felt this guidance to go and do NFT collection in honor of my cat. So I started drawing him, even though I never draw. And then I, started looking into how to basically create NFT collection without any knowledge about NFTs. I just sort of like felt like I needed to do this. And once I started looking into Web3, NFTs, what is like crypto, internet, blockchain, like all of those terms, I started reading, and that got me into a rabbit hole of learning whole much, like whole bunch of things about it, and creating a reading list to share with newbies about Web3.
And we are newbies. So please, what is Web3? What is the most basic level of understanding of what Web3 is? I've been calling it Meta 3, but it's Web3.
It's Web3. There's I think many terminologies, and Web3 is like overarching way to call it. Well, we don't have another name for it, I guess. um, but Web3 is, oh gosh. So like let's start with Web 1. Um, the Web 1 was quite basic in the way that, you could use it, but you could post your own content and in a way like own it. You would own your own website and write blog posts on it. And then that became a bit complicated because people don't particularly like to own their server and like buy a website for themselves every time and like manage all that side of things. So Web 2 emerged with like Google and Facebook and Twitter, everything,
Okay,
providing
so let me
services.
get this straight. So TaylorAndre.com is Web 2. My website, having to manage it, having to pay Squarespace, having to update and upload information. That's Web 2.
I think, look, let's not, that's a very good question. I don't think I can answer that question truthfully, because I've never like really dug into the two webs, like Web 1 and Web 2 too much, because I went into Web 3 right away to understand like so much difference. But from what my understanding, I think your website is more like Web 2 because you are paying subscription to Squarespace, who builds websites.
Okay.
So they provide service for you, and you don't like really own that website. Like when subscription goes off, you don't own it. Like that's it. You lose your website.
That's actually a
Um,
really good point that I need to go buy my That's right. You're right. Like I do have a subscription and I do need to buy my website. And so I'm sorry for interrupting you.
no, that's a good point, and that's what people are realizing more and more is that they don't own things like they don't own their websites, they don't own their content or their data, because Web 2 companies are using that data to make revenue basically, and like all of these YouTubers who post, they make money, but they don't own YouTube. So when
Mhm.
YouTube makes silly decisions, it's affected. So Web 3 it's only beginning. It's on the brink of sort of rising in terms of like usability, but the concept is of ownership economy where um, like you create videos on YouTube, but you also have shares in YouTube. But those shares are actually cryptocurrency, and YouTube is on blockchain, so everything is transparent.
Mhm. Okay. And so what is a blockchain?
Great question. Again, I'm not a technical person, but blockchain is like a is like a but like basically like a sense. Let's use non-technical terms because I'm not a tech. But blockchain is like a sandbox for developers to create apps that are called dApps, decentralized apps, on top of this sandbox. Funny thing, there is a metaverse blockchain that's called Sandbox, but it's just basically like a base layer where you then come as a developer and you create extra layers on top of it as dApps that use different way of coding and also just different way of governance. Like the logic on blockchain is transparent. Transparency is one thing, like everything is visible. Second one is it enables smart contracts, which is um, like things that you put in program to make it work. Smart contracts that then enable a lot of amazing things, like like if we quickly go into NFTs, NFTs are stored and sold on blockchain, which means the smart contract that encapsulates that cell is always on the blockchain. So if you at any point need to prove ownership of NFT that you buy, it's there, it's always available. There is no way to steal it from you because you have the proof that you have, like you own it. And that applies to many things. Oh, Taylor, I think you muted.
And that's with like as far as proving ownership, that's only with NFT, correct? Because I know with um crypto, like you have to have it protected on a server, protected on a thumb drive, protected in a something like it's like 17 layers of protection and with a 35 digit code for you. Like it's a lot more difficult than I'm willing to admit it is. But so the NFT is easier to provide proof than the crypto.
Good question. So the way NFTs are purchased, it already creates that smart contract proof of purchase. With crypto, it's a bit different because when you buy crypto, I don't think it actually creates the smart contract. So in that sense, I think it would be different. And I think even though like owning crypto is complicated, I think it's worth it. And I'm sure if you're talking about all the tech behind it, I hope you already have some crypto because we are in the good time to buy. But with NFTs, yes, it is built a little bit more user friendly because of how like Web3 has been developing for some time, like 10 years, maybe 7 years for Ethereum. So a lot of apps have been created to support like transfers of NFTs and everything. So that makes it user friendly.
Mm-hmm. So all right, we're talking to a bunch of people who understand nothing about NFTs. What are the first things that we need to understand? Like, what are the first things that we need to do before even diving into it or buying an NFT or trying to mint? I think that's the language, trying to mint an NFT.
Yep, yep. I think first it's important to understand the function of NFT, and um, once you understand, you will realize why some of them are very expensive. And basically, NFT is a non-fungible token. Cryptocurrency is a fungible token. So token is just item of value. It's just one thing that's of value. So for cryptocurrency, that would be fungible token. If I have one Bitcoin and you have one Bitcoin, we can swap and absolutely no problem. Because they are the same, technically. They are written in code the same. NFTs are non-fungible tokens, which means they are every single one is unique and it has its own like set of numbers or code or letters that differentiate one from another. So in that sense, you can't swap it unless it's designed, but like by design, it's designed to be swapped. But when you buy an NFT, it's one thing. Like there is no other NFT in the world that will be exactly the same. That's why people buy NFTs for thousands and thousands. But I think it's also important to understand the value of NFTs for Web3. It's not just art, or actually NFTs can be so many things beyond art. Like it can be used as governance token to be able to vote in companies, and music, and so many other things. But what's important to understand is NFTs are currently creating market and the traction and like usability of blockchains, which then sort of create this more innovation and more use of blockchains amongst people. So NFTs are basically like little honeypot that attract some people to the space to then explore it and do other things, like building apps, learning coding, or if you are not tech like me, just joining like projects and helping in any ways you can do from your like previous skills. I'm gonna try and be as simple as I can, but basically NFTs are an awesome trade, like they have an awesome trade value, right? But they also attract and onboard more people because so like one NFT project that I really like because it really encourages a lot of people to join the space is Gary V. I don't know if you know him, but he
Of course.
created a conference and he's selling tickets as NFTs. So to go to a conference, you need to own that NFT. And that's a very good use of non-fungible tokens beyond selling art, I think.
So that is interesting. And so for those who don't know, I want to pull this up because I do like Gary Vee. I didn't know that this was the space that he was currently. Well, actually I did see something similar. Um, is this Gary Vee's? No, this is what you sent. This is what you sent over. What are NFTs mapping the NFT ecosystem? Um, And so I guess for me, one of the things that I don't understand is like, let's say for instance, you know, that video, oh, Charlie bit me. So I'm not the mom who recorded Charlie getting bit by his baby brother. But what if I minted that video, Charlie bit me? Do I now become the owner because I minted it? Or can the mom come after me because it's her content?
Yeah, all of the law, general logic applies to Web3, absolutely. And one thing I think is very important to understand about Web3 is everything is recorded on a blockchain and has history. So if you do something illegal on Web3, in 10 years, when the law, for example, is finally like approved, they can go back and actually like fine you for some of the activities. So I think it's very important to like apply the common sort of logic and not to break any laws when you are in Web3.
Hmm. And so this is what they were. She was talking about like fungible versus non-fungible. Fungibility is when a good's individual units are interchangeable. And I'm assuming when you think in that context, then like the dollar and the yin, I can't even think right now. The dollar and any other currency really is not fungible because they are not the same. But they're that the way that it converts, like you lose value or maybe you gain value depending on what country you're in. Um,
They become fungible at some point because you still can exchange them.
but an
Um,
NFT is unfungible, period,
Period. Yeah.
unless you set it up so it's fungible.
Yeah, there are just like some DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, which is like a name for companies on Web3. They can set up different tokens, and some of them can be, yeah, ready to swap.
So I guess, all right. So why these, right? These like the zombie for $7 million or the ape for $39 million. Like, what is the alien for $101 million? Like, what the heck is the significance of these photos or the ape that you see face about to peel off? Like, what's the significance of that and why do people pay so much money for them? And then to follow through in that conversation, the ability to resell. So if I mint something and then I put it for resale, or Gary Vee was talking about like, oh, I make residual income off of people selling something that I sold and they're reselling it. Like, girl, I want to make some money, but I don't know. I don't want. I don't know how. I do not understand how people are making money in this space, and my people perish for lack of knowledge. I'm trying to get all these pennies.
Personally haven't jumped on buying NFTs for the same reason. Like they seemed very complicated, and I'm also, um, in terms when it comes to money, I like to, like weigh all of my chances of being scammed. And unfortunately, the chances are pretty high if you don't know what you're doing. So, really good questions that you're asking. So, to start with punks, punks are like 5 years old or something. So, they are one of the first NFTs that were created. So, in terms of value, it has historical value. It's one of the first ones. So if you think of like first comic books, they value so much money.
Mm.
And also in terms of some of the characters that are more popular than others, Ape. I sent my second article, ape is actually a terminology that's used in Web3 to call somebody who's like sort of feels FOMO and then jumps on crypto at the worst time, or like, well, I think sells crypto at the worst time. So
That is, I am an ape. That is the worst. I absolutely am. I might be an ape when it comes to stocks too, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing with that one either. How to cautiously and skeptically fall down the rabbit hole. And then there's this article that looks like it's at least 10 minutes long and a read. But if you guys are looking to do your own due diligence, this is NY Mag, the Intelligencer, and Ape to buy into. So these are the basic crypto speak. And so, like she said, an ape is to buy new coin or token, particularly when you don't know much about it and you feel driven because everybody else is doing it. And so the coins and tokens in your portfolio, if bags are coins and tokens, like just like your money, your bag holds your money, the bag in crypto is the same thing as far as your coins and tokens. It's just not like tangible. If you hold onto your coins until they become worthless, unfortunately, you're a bag holder, like a ball hog, but just different. This is so weird. So a fund is a fear, uncertainty, and doubt. A catch-all phrase for any kind of negativity, criticism, or bad news about cryptocurrency, even if it happens to be true. The moon, if a coin is mooning, that means the price is soaring. So there really is a whole nother damn language.
oh yeah, I was so surprised to see this, and this is only the beginning. I once saw an article with like hundreds of new terminology that I couldn't even go through myself. It was so long.
And so a normie is I'm probably not really a normie, but close enough. A skeptic who has stayed out of crypto market for either sheer bewilderment, that's me, or suspicions that it's a pyramid scheme. There are scammers out there because I get like text messages on WhatsApp. I get messages on Facebook. I get text messages on my phone of people asking like, oh, do you want to get into the NFTs? All you got to do is, and it's, first of all, they want you to do a whole lot. So they ain't about to scam lazy people. Because they're not just asking you for your credit card information. They're asking you to log on to here, to upload that, to download this, to go over there and send this website over. If you're lazy, you won't get scammed because there's a whole lot before you actually get scammed by an NFT crypto person. But there are very like there was an article about a guy who threw away a thumb drive and it was like $100 and something million on it, and he has been for the last 3 years in his town's dumpster of like garbage, like the town dump, like the city, what's it called? Scuba Steve, what's it called? Landfill. He is in the town landfill for the last 3 years looking for the crypto that he threw away accidentally. And so it's easy to lose money in the crypto space or just get money scanned from you, or like the whole mining thing, having your coin stolen via mine, like it's a lot and it is overwhelming. And so for those who do not have any understanding of like how do we not get people lost, and not
Mm.
lost as in like lost down the rabbit hole, but like financially, it's time to make, it's literally raining money right now.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very good topic. I also think about this all the time because um, it's pretty scary if you're not a very like crypto native, another term for you, somebody who really understands like the blockchain and understands how it works. It's easy to be scammed, and it's even people who have been using like selling NFTs and have millions get scammed as well. So it's very important to just be as cautious as you can be. So two things. You would never hear from anybody who uses Web3 on WhatsApp or Facebook or anything like that. Everybody uses two platforms. It's Twitter and Discord. That's all. Nobody else uses any other platforms. So it's, at least, we narrowed it down to two, but then you still can get scammed on other, like Twitter and Discord. So everybody has this as a rule of thumb: never click on links, ever. Even if it's in DMs and you've spoken to a person for like 10 minutes, and you feel like it's a good person, do not click on links ever, because that takes you on websites that literally track everything on your computers or devices. So best way to confirm that the person is trustworthy, because a lot of people make friendships on Web3 is through Twitter Spaces. So you go on call, or on Discord you go on call and you actually confirm the person. And then it's also very common to share links to your other social medias in the space, so people can confirm you're the real person.
And what is Discord? Because I'm over here. You keep saying Discord, so I'm looking at trying to look it up and Google it and see what it is. And I went to the website, and it's a little weird. It came out in May of. It's a Taurus, because it was released May 13, 2015, and it's in the same vein or in the same topic as a group chat. And so is this like a WhatsApp slash what's the name of this other app that I have? Telegram. So is it like a WhatsApp Telegram type situation, or is it more like a Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
It's more like Slack. I don't know if you know Slack.
Oh yes.
No?
Okay.
Yeah. It's more like Slack. It has so you can create a server, which it doesn't need you to create anything. You just click create server, and it's basically a space then for let's say for your radio show, and then within this server you create multiple channels. And the functionality of Discord, you can go on video calls, voice calls, you can chat. You can also have bots that help you manage the community. So they will kick out people if they pick up on language they don't like. So in terms of functionality, Discord is really cool, and it has been used primarily by gamers until Web3 became a bit more prominent.
Okay, so really quickly, we are going to take a break and listen to this video, because I feel like I am sliding down all types of rabbit holes right now.
Nice.
It's so weird. Discord explained for dummies. I need this. If don't nobody else need it, I know I do.
Discord is a free voice and text application available for desktop and mobile. Discord is targeted at a gaming audience and has a sleek look and functionality that falls somewhere between Skype and Telegram. When using Discord, you participate in themed servers.
I did not pause that. Hold on.
Anyone can create their own server after they become a Discord member. You can invite people to join your server with a link. Within a server, admins can create text and voice channels narrowed by topic or restricted by users, like user age. Channel topics and servers don't always have to be related to games. Discord servers and channels exist for a wide range of topics, from music to glitch art, from spirituality all the way to National Novel Writing Month and more. You can also chat privately with people you've added to your friends list. Discord also supports in-game overlays for a number of titles, so you can talk to your friends,
I don't know why I keep
your teammates, and fellow players in real time. But you don't have to be using Discord with an in-game overlay in order to participate and share in the fun. Plenty of servers exist for discussion of specific games, let's plays, gaming sites, and more. You can still show off what you're playing at any time. Discord can detect games that you're playing on Steam, for example, or you can specify the activity yourself. Discord also has a number of modes, bots, and apps that can help with automatic moderation and welcoming of new members, enabling features for streamers, and much more. One downside to Discord is how trolls can target servers with garbage and spam, though you can fight this with moderation, approvals, and bots. Discord is free for everyone, though there are bonus features available with a monthly subscription and perks for special Twitch partners. It is definitely an application to watch.
So I was unaware that any of this even existed. I feel like a grandparent trying to understand TikTok right now. And I thought I was pretty tech savvy.
I felt the same, girlfriend. I felt exactly the same. I did not have Twitter. I did not have Discord. I've never used those two in my life. And then, unfortunately, I had to get them. But then I do not regret. I do not use Discord as often because people who use Discord is mainly like NFT projects have lots of two things to watch for NFT project is they have a roadmap and they have a Discord channel where you can talk to the creators and actually ask them questions and verify that they're legit people. And I haven't been really that active on Discord. So by all means, you don't have to be like using the space as often to still be part of Web3.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's still pretty cool to see the functionality, and a lot of communities on Web3 do group calls very often on them, which is really nice. It really brings the people together, I think.
Okay. So if we're coming at this like a step-by-step guide, the first thing you have to do is self-educate and do your due diligence. And I'm still on the first page of an 800-page book. So don't look to me for answers, baby, because I ain't got them. That's why we're going to have multiple people. And so there's an entire community, hashtag women in NFT and women in crypto. And so with your help, I really hope to get a lot of these voices heard, different perspectives, different angles, different storytelling, so we can get a better understanding of what this looks like as far as NFTs, as far as crypto, and really educating ourselves before we jump in and spend any money, purchasing any. And one of the things I keep hearing a lot of influencers say is, I'm not going to shun the Cash App of Bitcoin, but though that is, an okay place to start, that's not where you want to park your money. Like that's not the end all be all. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. One important thing is to diversify. So in terms of diversifying to like picking different coins and buying them, that's important on its own because cryptocurrency has many coins available. So the more types of coins you get, like the more opportunities to actually make money you have. And Bitcoin already is so high in price that I doubt you would make a lot of money. But if you buy like a smaller coin, you probably have more potential to like make bigger profits. But also diversify in terms of platforms because some platforms are not as trustworthy still. So it's good to have your money in different bags in case at least like one of them gets scammed or something. And please do not ever share your seed phrase with anybody. It's nobody's business. It's not their business to know your seed phrase. Seed
And
phrase
what
is the password.
Oh, that's your password.
Seed phrase is your password to a wallet to hold your cryptocurrency. And seed phrase is like 15 different words and they're random. They're generated randomly and you have to write them down in a book somewhere and keep that book safe because seed phrase is literally your like way to enter your wallet.
So that's probably what he lost then. He probably lost the man who's in the landfill looking for his $100 million. He probably lost his phrase.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
think I've heard that story that somebody lost his seed phrase, and unfortunately you just can't get it out of the top of your head. It's 15 words that are completely random. Yeah.
and why do you want to write it down in a book? Like, why can't you put it in a Google Notes or iPhone notes or I
That
don't
would
know.
be easy to
No,
break
no,
into.
even paper like receipts. You know how okay, in America you have to keep your receipts so you can write things off at the end of the year. Receipts be going black. Like even when you keep things on paper, it still fades.
Yeah, yeah. Still important to not enter it anywhere digitally. People are all sorts of skilled in scamming. So I met somebody who lost 10,000 in cryptocurrency, and he said that it was stolen from Coinbase. And unfortunately, apart from just using seed phrase, he also used his mobile number, and that's why it's important not ever talk to anybody on WhatsApp, because once they have your mobile number, they will go into Coinbase and start looking, does anybody use this mobile to verify? So then they can dub your SIM card and literally approve entering into your wallet through that. So the safest way to keep your wallet is to not attach it to anything apart from your seed phrase.
Hold on, homegirl. You said they can download my SIM card?
Yeah, people can duplicate SIM cards. Apparently, I had no idea as well, and literally create exactly the same SIM card and insert in the phone, and any messages that you get, they can review and then obviously use the code to enter and get into your wallet. The world is scary out there.
Yo, you is turning my whole world upside down right now. Because it's one thing to see it in a movie, right? It's one thing to see like somebody duplicate a SIM card and then like what are they doing? Spyware. It's completely different to think that Steve is in his mother's basement downloading my SIM card.
Oh, I'll tell you something even more mind-boggling. Yesterday, I had an interaction on Twitter with AI. Like an AI was like created an account and interacted with me. So every day I feel like we are just entering this futuristic world.
What do you mean AI had a conversation with you? I need more details.
AI, it actually like introduced itself, but this AI program was created by somebody, and it works on probably like observing human behavior on Twitter. Like I understand that AIs are currently present, and like some AIs create NFT collections to like make them very different. But yeah, this AI joined my Twitter Spaces on Saturday, and obviously couldn't speak. I thought it was a person, but it didn't speak. And then it messaged me, and I realized that it's AI. And I had like a bit of a tweet interaction on Twitter with AI, and it responded to me. I can send you screenshots.
Yeah, I want to see that. And so I don't know what I was doing, but I someone just sent me a link, said that $130 billion was wiped off the crypto markets as Bitcoin and Ether dropped to a multi-month low. I don't know what that means. That Bitcoin and Ether are off more than 50% from their all-time highs and trading at the lowest level since July. Does this mean a sale? Does this mean buy Bitcoin now because it's on sale?
Yep, yep. It's a good time to pick up Bitcoin. If you look at historically, so for example, at the moment, Bitcoin is the same level as it was this time last year. But in retrospect, what it means is that last year it was the highest point for Bitcoin at this cap, like 30, like 40,000, 30,000. But now it's the lowest cap. So actually, it's perfect time to buy because you feel like you're 1 year earlier than you actually are in terms of entering the market. And then when it inevitably goes up, you
So for the
will.
past month, Bitcoin has declined. And so at the beginning, so 1 month ago, Bitcoin was at 52,100. And right now it's at 32,933. So anything, so the Bitcoin that I previously had, I had $1,000 worth, and I'm currently at $500 worth.
Yep. Yep.
In my uranium, I don't know how to say it.
Ethereum. Yep.
Yeah, Ethereums.
Yep.
Okay. In my Ethereums, I had about $750, and I'm actually down $191. So that
Yep.
went down a lot further than I thought it was going to be. So do you know why it's this huge sale, or what's going on, or why is it like this, or is it
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
to go back up?
It's actually happening to stock market as well. If you pay attention to like websites on stock markets as well. So what's happening is
Biden became president, my stock sucks. Like I lost. Let's not talk about this, Annie, because my feelings is hurt about this one.
yeah, we are in the same boat with my husband. But what happened is in January, it was announced that interest rates will be raised in a few months, and that caused a lot of brokers who also trade on the cryptocurrency to sell because they take loans to invest into crypto as well as into stocks. So a lot of people exited the market because in the long run they won't be able to afford the interest rates on the loans that they took.
Okay.
Yeah, and at the moment, actually, because of that, crypto whales, so people who hold a lot of millions and millions of crypto, people who mainly use crypto to trade, are starting to buy at this dip. You can look at the big accounts and realize, okay, if whales are buying, if they have millions and millions, and they obviously know how to make that much, and they're buying at the dip, it means absolutely like it will go up. And this is the way to actually facilitate this transfer of wealth when you invest now.
Okay. Well, I don't know what I don't know, so I don't know what other questions I should be asking you.
Oh, I have one. I have
What?
one. I'd love to hear a perspective of your listeners on this. I can't see comments though. Is one thing I actually learned yesterday on TikTok is a term. It's called Bridgewalker. And this term basically describes a spiritual person who thinks analytically and wants to facilitate some kind of social change in the world because they, think analytically, but also feel connected with the universe in their own form. And once I heard that term, first I identified with that right away, but I also realized that I'm seeing so many people on Web3 that are about the same thing. They, a lot of people, and I think once you meet all the women in NFT, you will also realize that people who are entering the space at the moment seeing potential to not just make money, but they see potential to build completely new systems for society. So, for example, DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, they are changing the way workplace looks like. It's completely inclusive. It's governed with transparency and flat sort of structure. It gives power to people. You don't have to, times equal this much. You just get basic pay and you do what you do the best. So, and it's every day, every month, people coming up with new solutions how to, make governance structures work better for DAOs. And I think that's something that fascinates me about Web3 the most is that social shift that we are seeing. Women in NFTs introduce this new awesome inclusivity and sort of support in a space. It used to be like saturated by men. But since December last year, I'm seeing so many women in the space and sharing the knowledge and being super supportive. And I think this is a really good time to consider, entering as well.
Thank you. Thank you. And so it's a Bridgewalker, somebody who is analytical, but also connected spiritually and can connect the two realms, the spiritual and the analytic. And that's the Bridgewalker.
Yep. That's what I understand. And how cool! I finally heard a term that describes me. I don't know about you, but it's good. It's good. It's a good feeling.
Well, thank you so much. Please, like I said, I really do want to connect with all of the NFT women of TikTok, and you seem to have like everyone's attention. So I definitely want to reconnect with you and others and continue to build this foundation of understanding. I think today was just a lot to take in and it was a lot to understand.
Yeah.
Now it's time to do a little dive of what we've heard here today, and then take it to this. We gonna revisit. We are not going to just go to level 3. That's not what we're gonna do here because I'm still on the intro to the game. So we're gonna we're gonna continue to build. But you guys, like, there is so much money out here in Web3, right? Web3.
Yep.
Yes, there's so much going on out here, and we cannot lose this opportunity. So, we are going to get on every single train that is outbound from this station and learn what we can before actually being the engineer of the train and driving our own financial situation to whatever that success means to you. And so, I thank you so much for your time. I know you woke up at 4 a.m. to be with us today. So I appreciate you. And we will reconnect. Please tell everybody your socials so they can follow you on Twitter and TikTok.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for reaching out to me. And I really like what you're doing, spreading this to masses and your community as well. And I think they've got a really good guide. My Twitter is Rogers Ani. So ROGERS_ANI. My TikTok is Ani Rogers all together and then 111.
And for those who need visuals like me, because I am a visual person, and it's not Michael Jackson's Ani, it's ANI. So it's not Annie, are you okay? It's ANI. Rogers _ANI or Annie Rogers 111 on TikTok, right?
TikTok. I think it's the handle. I couldn't secure the same handle everywhere, so I have to remember everything. But yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate this, and I think it's so important to share this knowledge. And I will make sure I'll introduce you to some awesome people.
Thank you so much. Have a blessed day, and please go get some rest.
I will. Thank you. See ya.
I am Taylor Andre. Waking Up with Taylor Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. What is more unorthodox than talking about Web3, talking about cryptocurrency, talking about NFTs, talking about all of these things that we don't understand, but just because you don't understand doesn't mean that you don't need to be engaged. A lot of people didn't understand the internet, but look at here. We are currently on the internet, whether you're on your phone. When you think about your grandma over there on Facebook scrolling through talking about something, Shirley's granddaughter had a baby. Like everybody is on the internet today. But once upon a time, it was just, you had a people who didn't care about you being on the internet. They interrupted you being on the internet, answering phones, taking calls. And you know what you did to your siblings when they was on the internet and you wanted to use the phone. So if you just pick up the phone and let it sit there for a minute, it'll disconnect. And then you could be like, oh, the internet's broke. I got to make a call real quick. I know I'm not the only one. I can age myself all day. But these 70s and 80s babies is out here looking better than all y'all. And so I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Everything's Taylor Andre, TAYLA ANDRE. Mwah.